Greetings, greetings.
Shop Talk Podcast.
Greetings, greetings. I'm Norma Jo Thomas, and I am here with my favorite barber, Jamel Thomas, and we are at the historic Joe's Barbershop, right here in the historic African-American community of Acres Homes. Joe's Barbershop is the home of Shop Talk. The Shop Talk podcast celebrates the old school black barbershop, where there were conversations about just about everything relevant to the black community. Tune in to Shop Talk. Greetings, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Shop Talk, the podcast. I'm Norma Jo Thomas, your host, and I am once again here at Joe's Barbershop, right here in the middle of the historic African-American community, the Fofo Acres Homes. I am handing it over again this week to my co-host, my ace boon coon, my right hand, my left hand, Angela Faye CeZar. And she's here with her guest, Miss Toni. And if I tell you, they have got some more heat to bring on financial literacy. So if you've been with us, perhaps you're like me. And one of the things that I have taken away that I know that they're going to hammer home again with this episode, and that's about solutions. Solutions to breaking the cycle is changing the mindset. They talked a lot about that in the last episode. If you didn't get an opportunity to see or listen to the last episode, then go ahead and backtrack. It's okay. Again, I have Miss Angela Faye CeZar, and she's going to take it away.
All right, so we back. Me and my girl Toni Sanders
in the building.
In Joe's Barbershop. You
Absolutely.
know, kicking it like that. We up in these barber chairs. You know, I used to sit in this chair and get my hair cut.
Hey, I was behind the chair.
That's right.
20 years. I did 20 years. Yes,
working
absolutely.
on them heads. That's absolutely right. But guys, we are back. When we were here the last time, we talked about the challenges and the problems, so to speak, in our community dealing with money, financial matters. You know, now we told you as promised, because Shop Talk is all about solutions. We are here today to bring you solutions to the previous conversations, right?
Absolutely.
So Toni and I are on this. One of the things, you know, we talked about last time was education. Toni made a very, very valid point, and that was you can get all the education, all the knowledge you want, but if you don't apply, you ain't got Oh, can I say that, Norma? Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. So as we move going forward, we have to understand that we have to apply these things.
Right.
And Toni and I are your people to get you where you need to be. All we're telling you, give us the ear. Let us give you some education so we can get some things implemented in your life to help you move forward.
Right.
You owe that to yourself.
And your
Let us
family.
lead you to the, and your family.
And
your community.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Community.
right. Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about what financial literacy is, and what exactly is a strong financial house. Go, Toni.
Let me tell you something. Financial literacy, you know, it could be different things to different people. I hear people all on social media. One of the things that people are always on, I call it fake book.
Yeah.
That's Facebook, but it's fake book, right?
Yeah.
Financial literacy is to help a person understand the concepts of money and how money works.
Come on.
How can you change your life financially if you don't understand concepts? So I think that we should definitely start them off by giving them some concepts, because we're all about the solutions now,
All about
right?
the solutions.
So now let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Let's talk about the financial house. So we're
on.
in this building, right?
Yeah.
And we have some chairs in the building. Those chairs are on 4 legs. Or better yet, let's just talk about Joe's Barbershop, right?
Yeah,
this is
go.
built on a solid foundation. This one
Solid
holds
foundation.
everything together.
Yeah. Over 70-something years.
70-something years, it's been still standing, right?
Still standing.
But some people's financial house is not standing on a strong financial foundation.
You're right, Toni. You absolutely
So
right.
it's so when something's unstable, it collapses, it falls over. It's not all way together. It's not strong. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about giving people solutions to change their life, let's start with the foundation. The foundation is the protection.
That's it.
You have to have protection against everything. Your income. If you go to work and you're making money, you have to protect your income. If you lose your income, then what do you have? Nothing. Let's talk about your health, the ability to be healthy enough to go to work and make the money. But if you're not healthy enough, because, people are always talking about my health and my wealth, it goes hand in hand.
Come on.
You can be healthy enough to go and make money, and you can have all the money in the world. But if you're not healthy enough, you're not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
And enjoy it.
And then let's talk about the assets. Everything that we work so hard for, we always leave them exposed, and we don't protect them. Then the next layer of that, Angela, I got to tell them the foundation, because people are off.
Come on.
Debt management. Control your debt.
Yes.
See, we're the number one consumers, but we're the worst savers and investors.
Yes.
If they make it, we buy it.
If they make it, we gonna buy it.
But we cannot always do that. And then let's talk about living on 70% of our income. Stop living on 110%. Live on 70% of your income. The other 30%, I want you to give, save, and invest. Because if you continue to spend everything you have, we're going to never have anything. We will never have anything. Then the next layer of this house, we're going to talk about emergency fund. You have to have an emergency fund. See, with that 30%, that's going to help you build up that emergency fund.
There you go.
Most professionals will tell you 3 to 6 months, but your girl here, Toni Sanders, is going to tell you 1 year.
We already
See,
know,
the
don't we?
pandemic lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
So most people at that time were ill prepared. So let me ask you a question. If something happens today, if another pandemic happens, are people prepared?
People on the average are not.
They're
prepared.
ill prepared. Most
That's
people,
right.
Angela, let me just drop this gem in your lap.
Come on.
They don't even have $400 for an emergency fund.
Ain't that something?
But I bet you they spend $400 on the weekend. They plan for the weekend, but they're not planning for the future. You have to have an emergency fund. So somebody's listening to us, they watching this, and they said, you know what, Toni, I don't have it. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to get it.
Yeah.
Can you just sit down and let me have entertain you with a conversation that can change your life and help you build up your financial house?
Yeah.
But most people want to jump on the roof of the house. See, Joe's barbershop, it wasn't built from the roof to the foundation. It was built from the foundation to the roof.
Was.
See, most people say, you know what, Toni, the investing, that's the sexy part. No, what's sexy when you have some money and just not,
That's it.
Hey, that's sexy to me.
That's it.
I don't know about you, but that's
it.
sexy to me.
Yeah.
But it has to be built up properly. Just think about it. If the chairs that are in this barbershop, if one leg was missing and somebody was to sit in that chair, what's going to happen?
They're going to bust their ass.
They're going to fall. It's not stable. This ninja right here, y'all. This ninja. But they're gonna fall. But that's what's happening to people's financial house.
That's it.
It's not built on a solid foundation.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about, hey, I want you to be educated, I want to help you change your life, and it goes back to that mindset. I need you to have an open mind and an open heart to receive the information. Yeah. You don't know what you don't know, but if I teach you, then you can do better.
You can do better. And that is the key. When we know better, we should do better. And if we put the good works to work, we will be better, not just for ourselves and for our family and for our kinfolk, but for the entire community. And then if we get on this thing right, the way Toni and I envision it, because we talking about a whole powerful nation of financial people, then we're going to change the world.
Hey, we're going to revolutionize.
We're going to
revolutionize.
Revolutionize. Let me work. What I'm saying to you guys is this for real though. We are here and we are about change, and we promised you solutions.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't hear the key thing that Toni said, she talked about that foundation.
It's important.
Because if you don't have that right, nothing else matters.
Nothing.
I don't care what kind of anything that you build. When they build a car in the factories, the frame starts first.
The foundation.
It's going to always be the foundation of everything that's going to get you where you want to be. And one of the things that we know about Joe's Barbershop is Mr. Thomas built a strong foundation, and that foundation turned into a strong legacy. And Norma Joe Thomas is in here continuing to let that legacy live and move on because of that solid foundation that he built.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
And I'm not leaving nobody out of that, because she's got some magnificent sisters that all play a part in this. But I want everyone to know that that foundation is absolutely key, Toni. You hit that right on the head. Now, we done told you that you got to have a strong financial house.
Right.
That is key. Now, what we want to share next with you is understanding that Toni gave you a little bit of that. But so often we come across people and they're talking about, well, I'm into investing. And we're like, okay, so how much do you make on an average?
This is my lane right here. I can talk about this all day.
I already know.
The Asian community, their median income is over $130,000. In the African American community, the median income is about $35,000. So we already on an unlevel playing field.
Already.
So forget about, the investments for now. We're going to build up the financial house the right way. Most people talk to us and they say, I want to build wealth. Then I ask them the question, but do you know how?
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that there's a wealth formula. Let's start there. Let's give them some tangible, something that they can take away. So you want to build wealth? Okay, you got to have some money. Don't talk to me about investing money and you don't even have no money.
Right.
Let's start there. Number 2, how young are you? Your age matters.
It matters.
See, time is equivalent to money. And see, most people have already lived. I'm not saying that you can't build wealth, but I'm just going to tell you it's going to cost more. So there's something called the wealth formula. More formula here say if you're young, it takes this much money because you have this much time. Well, gray hair, grizzly like me. Look, most of my years are behind me. So I need to save a lot more money today because I have less time. Yeah. See, I'm closer to meeting God.
Lord have mercy. I'm going to give myself a little bit more years.
But guess what? But you still got to get a good interest rate. Yeah. So how do you make your money make money? I see people talking about, I'm making money in my sleep. How? Tell me how. Don't tell me about any cryptocurrency. Don't tell me about anything. No investments. Is very volatile where most people can't even save paycheck to paycheck because they live in paycheck to paycheck. Right. So you have to have the wealth formula. Money, time. You have to have a good interest rate. Hey, are you outpacing taxes and inflation? Are you losing the inflation and taxes? Then you got to know these things.
And every time we pop into a store, I don't care where, you can be at the gas station, you can be at the grocery store, you can be in the shopping for something to wear, wherever. First thing I hear is these prices are inflation, baby.
Inflation.
Did you prepare for that? No, you didn't. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it. Be honest about it. Be honest with yourself. Be honest when we talk to you. We like to call it being transparent, right, Toni?
Absolutely.
Be transparent because when you're transparent with us, we can be transparent with you. And one of the things that Toni keyed on, is that when you look at your situation, you can't see it. You're like, I don't have any money. How I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna waste y'all time. Y'all come talk to me. But guess what? Our eyes are not emotionally attached to your pocketbook.
Right.
So when we look at it, we're going to see all kinds of opportunities. And that's what you got to understand.
And the thing, too, is, are you willing?
See,
most people are not willing to sacrifice today for their future. They want to live for the weekend.
And what happened? How did that happen? Because
society says,
all right,
everything.
Okay,
the minute you wake up, Angela, you pick up your cell phone, there's an ad. The minute you turn on your TV, there's an ad. The minute you get in your car, you turn on your radio, there's an ad. The minute you drive down the road, there's a billboard, there's a store. Temptation. And we're not disciplined enough to say no.
Yeah.
And let me go back, though, because you said something.
Come on.
See, there's one thing for certain and two things for sure.
What is?
We all gonna die.
We all gonna die.
And you always gonna pay taxes.
And you gonna always pay taxes.
So how do we outpace those things?
Come on.
That's where the education comes in of learning these things. But we got to drop another one.
Come on.
We got to tell them about the rule of 72.
Tell them.
See, the rule of 72 is a mathematical formula that was discovered by Albert Einstein. It teaches you how money works. How long is it going to take for your money to double? Most people have their money in the bank. Never has one person ever built wealth in a bank. No. See, Angela, you take your money to the bank. I go to the bank to get a loan. They charge me interest, but they never give you a dime.
Never give you a dime.
Oh, yeah, they probably do give you a dime, though.
Maybe. No, I don't think a whole dime. I might get about 6.8 cents, something like that.
It ain't very, no. See, the average bank, and I'm not talking about high yield savings account.
I know.
Banks give 0.5%, right? Mm-hmm. But even if I just said for illustration purposes, let's just take a newborn baby today and we gave that baby $10,000. Mm-hmm. That baby will not have that money double for 72 years. You mean to tell me if I give a baby $10,000, they're not gonna be 72 until it's $20,000?
See, this is what I'm trying to tell you all. When you tell us I'm good, this is why we look at you and say, what do you mean you're good? Right. Explain that to me. And the problem is you can't.
Okay, we're taking a short break like we always do, but we are not done. They will be back. Again, my favorite segment of the podcast is Artistic Impact. And we are working this young lady to death, but she is so awesome. We have to bring her back. We have to get her while we can get our hands on her, because she is a rising star. And that's Miss Camellia Mahira Washington. Camellia Mahira Washington. And she's going to be bringing us a monologue from To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. And it's called The Porter Scene, The Porter Scene. And in this scene, it's basically just talking about a parent. She's talking about her dad, who had decided that his family could no longer live off of the leavings of the white man. He had to provide for his family himself. Take a look.
You don't understand. My father was a railroad porter who wiped spit, carried drinks, and the white man's secrets for 30 years. When that bell rang in the night, he put on that white coat and his smile and went shuffling through the corridors with his tray and his whisk broom and his paper bags and his smile wherever the white men were ringing for 30 years. And my mother? She was a domestic. She always had, mama did, bits of this and bits of that from the closet, pantry, and refrigerator of Miss Ann's. You know? Some given, some stolen. And she always brought this stuff home and laid it all out on the kitchen table so we can look at it. And all the time, my father, he just stood there, looked at it, and walked away. And then one night, he just had some type of fit. And he reached up and knocked all that stuff over. The jelly, the piece of ham, the sweater for me, the broken vases. He just knocked it all to the floor and stood there screaming with tears coming down his face. I ain't gonna have the white man's leavings in my house no more. I don't want his throwaways no more. And my mother just stood there with her lips pursed together until he went to bed and she picked it up, whatever wasn't smashed or ruined, and she washed it off. She brushed it off and she put it in the closet. And we ate it, and we used it because we had to survive, and we didn't have time for my father's pride.
Hey, man, that was beautiful, wasn't it, Toni?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
To see that young sister get up there and do that like that.
I will say this, Angela, that if people just look back from where we came to where we are now, look at your children. If you don't do it for anybody else, can you do it for the next generation? Can you do it for your children? Do you love your children enough to say, you know what? I didn't have the information, but I do want to give it to my kids.
Be honest with yourself, and let's have this conversation, y'all, because you don't know.
Well, let's just meet people where they are.
All right, and that's love. That's love.
Let's say, let me just meet you where you are. Let's just have a conversation. If you good, my sister, I'm going to say, sister, good job. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, I'm going to take off my professional hat, and I'm going to talk to you sister to sister, brother to sister, whatever that looks like. And I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to make some suggestions. Now, I can only make a suggestion. I can't make you do anything, but I can give you some tools that you can use, that you can equip yourself and empower yourself to be financially educated, to make better financial decisions. But if you keep doing what you're doing, when you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, what is it called? Insanity. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over. And that's what's happening in our community, in our households, in our families. We keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, and we get the same darn thing.
Same thing.
Nothing changes.
Same thing. And so we have to recognize, again, we have to start being honest with ourselves. We have to look at our reality, because as long as we live in this whole fake world, this facade that we create for ourselves,
pretentious,
we are missing out on what is in store.
And who are we trying to impress? Who are we trying to impress?
I don't know, because one of the things I like to tell people is, listen, I come from goodness. I come from greatness. I come from abundance. Everything that I believe about the universe says that everything I want is at the palm of my hand.
Amen.
You know, and so believing in that and understanding that calls one to have to be realistic about where they are so they can change some things. You know, I believe, and, you know, let me know if I'm wrong, Tony, but I believe when Noah built that ark and he was told, build the ark and bring them animals in, and everybody was like, dude, you crazy. But when that water started falling, things change. Everybody want to get a part of the pie, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that be prepared with the reality of your situation.
Right.
Know what's in front of you.
No judgment.
Yeah, none.
No judgment. But most people don't realize that, hey, we can help you. When you're sick, you go to the doctor. No different about your money. You need somebody to talk to about your money.
Yeah.
See, your family don't know. They never talk to anybody about money. They don't have the information.
Yeah.
Your friends, they're in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
So we have to start to talk to other people. And let me just say this, because, this just dropped in my spirit.
Come on.
Let me tell you something. I hear so many people saying, oh, yeah, the white man told me that. Well, the black women can tell you that too.
Right.
I can tell you the exact same thing that they're going to tell you. And I can tell you from a place of love, they don't give a darn about you.
Let me tell you something. And I'm glad you talked about that, the thing about love, because one of the things we want people to understand is that we want you to have the knowledge and we want to help you, because we know we're the licensed professionals. We know that you don't have that. You get on the internet and you see all this stuff and you have all of these people talking about this, that, and the other. They're not licensed. They don't know. This is a highly compliant business we're in. Things change on a daily. And if you could just see the information that is circulated to us in this industry, you would probably be like, oh my God. But we stay up on it. And we stay up on it for the betterment of what our mission is, to help you and
Absolutely.
your family and your family's family.
Nobody has a better interest in our community than us. Nobody.
Than us.
Everybody else, they come to our community, they have their stores, they have their businesses, but guess what? They don't leave their dollar here.
Right.
And if we don't bridge that gap, nobody will. There's so many different articles. You guys can go check it out. The brown and black community will be broke in 2 decades.
Yeah.
The power of the dollar, how long it lasts in our community.
Right.
We have to understand money. We have to understand how money works. Black money matters.
Yeah.
You matter, but you have to get educated so that you can make the best decision. Right now, who's telling you the information? Most people don't have this information.
They don't.
They don't have access to it.
They don't.
See, our parents and grandparents, they didn't have the resources that we have today to make these decisions.
Right.
So I will say that if people will take a chance on themselves, see, it's not about me, it's not about you.
Right.
But I always tell people, and we talk about it all the time, I'm relatable. I'm just a little black girl from Akron, Ohio, who was born to a mother with 4 kids by the age of 25.
That's right.
We were on welfare, eating block cheese. The cheese never melted.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was to make, sandwiches with the butter and put sugar and cinnamon and so for a dessert. So don't tell me that I don't know when I've lived those things too. But I've just made a decision that I was going to change my life, my family's life, and my community's life. And that's not about that, hey, I'm so highly educated, because I'm not. You're looking at somebody with a high school education, but I made a decision to change my life, my family's life, and my community's life.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Most people haven't made that decision yet.
Most people haven't made that decision, and they're a long ways from the commitment. But as we were talking about in our previous episode, we have to understand that the only way that things are going to change is going to be action. You are going to have to make some sacrifices.
You got to make some sacrifices.
You're going to have to make some. I don't care if there's anything in your life, period, the end, in your life that you want to change, you're going to make a sacrifice.
I believe you, because you jumping in that
I'm
chair.
jumping in this seat because I'm for real. But if there is anything that you want to change, you're going to have to make a sacrifice.
You have to sacrifice. You can't continue to do the same thing over and over again.
You cannot.
And wanting to be better and do better. See, we offer free workshops and everything for people to take advantage of.
Yep.
See,
Free
and this is what I'm
workshops.
talking about. The resources are now available.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about, how am I going to learn? Number one, they put it in a book.
Right.
Y'all need to start picking up these books and reading these
Better
books.
stop it.
Y'all don't. That's why they put it in a book, because they know we ain't gonna read it.
They know we ain't gonna read it. Tony, pick up the book.
Oh my gosh! I'm
Pick
glad
up the
I brought
book.
this.
Pick up the book. This book right here. When it says saving your future, it's talking about saving your future.
Right.
And it's talking about money. It's easy to read. I don't care. Listen, Tony and I can do a presentation with just this book alone. And we give this book away. And people, they can't get to the office. Okay, I'm going to email you the PDF.
Yeah.
Call them back 2 days. You read the book? You looked at the book yet? What'd you think about? I haven't had a chance. Call them back another 3 weeks later. Just following up, seeing where I ain't read. We won't read. When they don't want us to know something, they going to put it
In a book.
Because we are not going to read it.
You said something that was profound too, though, Angela.
Come on.
You talked about people saying, no, they haven't read it. The biggest problem that I see is people are not willing to take time out.
Time out.
It only takes a little bit of time, but they're not willing. Everything else takes precedent over them taking care of their families. For
Yeah.
me, I don't know about you, but for me, when I hear from people, it's too late.
It's too late.
I'm always hearing, oh, my loved one is sick, or my loved one, was in an accident, or my loved one was diagnosed with cancer, or my husband lost his job, my wife lost her job. I hear stories every single day. But there are preventative measures that you can take and put in place.
Yeah.
There's things that we can do as individuals. There's things that we can do as families, as business owners. Number one, get educated. Number two, put a solution in place. If you don't know that solution, hey, more than willing to help you to figure it out.
Yeah.
And act on it. Take action. That's where I think we really lag, is taking action.
Taking the action. I agree with you, Tony.
We do not take action.
I
We're
agree with you.
procrastinators. We love to procrastinate.
We keep putting it off, and we find we justify. Our justifications for it have become so. They say this thing about life. Life is gonna happen.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. And so we allow life be lifing to get in the way of anything that we can do.
Right.
And we have to stop that. And I've had my moment where life was life, and I was like, life in the day. I'm just gone.
No,
but
let me tell you something.
what? You got to move on,
You
boo.
got to keep moving.
You got to keep moving.
My
'cause
pastor always say, either you in it, you coming out, or you about to go through. But you have to keep moving, because it doesn't stop. Our kids are growing up faster. Our parents are growing older. And what are we going to do? And it goes back to, we got to take action.
We got to take action. Now, listen, we would love to be with y'all for a long period of time, but we only got a little bit more time left, and there are some key things that I want to make sure that you guys get. Toni talked about that foundation, and that foundation is protecting and holding everything together. And so in our industry, that is life insurance. But one of the things I want to say to you guys, one of the things I hear a lot is that burial. We don't understand, in all other communities where people are quote unquote doing better, got what we don't have, they take this thing called life insurance and they build wealth with it. We don't understand that. And we need to understand that. That is why it's the foundation, because it helps you build up so much.
Right.
And I want Toni just to take a minute to just give a little bit of information on that, and so we can talk about the importance of being your own money manager.
Well, I'll tell you this, Angela. If you want to build wealth, life insurance is the easiest way to do it. Can you imagine if the previous generations have left something for the next generation and everybody does it, and it's just a buildup? I always go back to the Rockefellers, because basically that's what they did. They insured everybody in the family, put it in a trust, making sure every family was protected. When someone is born, someone dies, that money goes back into the trust. Somebody needs something. Now this trust is so huge that they can do whatever they want to do, right? And so we can do the same thing.
Same exact thing.
Always doing what's affordable and suitable. life insurance is not a bad thing. But in our mind, we always think, oh, somebody trying to hurt me to get the life insurance money. But we don't understand. Again, that goes back to the education. Evolution of life insurance has changed. There's so many types of life insurance. Life insurance can bury you, yes, but also can help you supplement your retirement. Life insurance can take care of you when you're sick and shut in. There's so many things that life insurance can do. But the biggest thing is making sure that you have what's affordable and suitable and affordable. And they're two different things.
Two different things.
There are two different things. And so I don't really want to get into that conversation of life insurance because it's not about you having it. You have to have it.
You got to.
Because it's what it can do for your family. It's not for you. It's for the ones that you love. That's the legacy of love that I always talk about and tell people, look, it's not about you, having life insurance and leaving people, nobody is trying to, get wealthy off of it. But if you leave your family with that, God bless you.
Yeah.
Make sure you leave them with the education to understand what to do with it for the next generation.
That's right. You got to make sure, like that piece we had in our other episode where the young lady was talking about, Camellia. She was talking about in a piece that she did, her artistic thing, where she was talking about, her dad left her all this stuff, but there was no relationship.
Right.
So we got to make sure that we're organic with what we're doing, that we're holistic with what we're doing.
Absolutely.
When we're tying this thing to money. And then we want to talk a little bit about the importance of being your own money manager. When we talk about education, the workshop, the books, and when Toni and I meet with you, we send, man, you get so many books you ain't even thought of. Not just our favorite books, Saving Your Future, but we send you all kind of PDF books to read. And then we have these workshops that go with this stuff that happens 3 times a day, so you can get in there. But when we meet with you, you tell us what your goals are, and we literally help you navigate to get there.
Right.
And we stay with you on that journey. But money, the reason why the education is so important, outside you have to put it in place. The reason why it's so important is because you must also understand what is happening with your money. No, you're not the licensed professional, but you need to know what has happened. Toni and I met with a couple one time. They had invested all the cash they had, and that individual did not explain to them what they were doing, and they looked up one day and it was nothing, hardly nothing in there.
That was heartbreaking. I think we both were in tears.
Yeah, that was
heartbreaking. The couple was in tears in my office.
They had to start all over.
We were sad, and that goes back to the lack of financial education, not knowing. So a lot of people, they always say, well, I have a financial advisor, I have a financial planner. Great, me too. But you still have to know what somebody who's doing your money. Do you know what they're doing? What's happening behind the scenes? And so that's why the education is so important. That's why we stress, hey, become your own money manager. Yeah. Manage your money. Manage your household's money, right?
Yeah. So
that you can know what people are doing and you have the understanding.
Yeah.
See, they didn't know.
They didn't know. What you say, Toni? You say you don't have to do what I do.
But you must know
what I know.
Absolutely.
And that is where you are going to have the control of your money in your hands, because you can't trust the government, you can't trust the job, you can't trust the man, so to speak.
They don't have a vested interest.
They don't have a vested interest.
Most people don't, like, people think, oh, the banks and the government and You have to be your own money manager.
You have to be your own money manager. Right. I don't expect you to go out and get a license. I don't expect you to get the licenses that Toni and I have. But what I do expect you to do is get the education, allow us to share the education with you so you'll know what you're getting and you can understand that. You can ask the questions. You can say, okay, Toni, Angela, you did this. We agreed on this. This happened, that happened. So how do we move from here? Or I need to make this happen right now. You know what you have, right?
And, and another point to that, Angela, is, again, I always tell parents, how can you teach something to your kids that you don't know? If you waiting on education system, you in trouble.
You in trouble.
They don't know either.
You in trouble. And you also have to understand that times are different now. So just taking some money and putting it in a CD at a bank or having you just a little savings account, that's not working now. These things are so very different. So listen, we want you to get from us the expectancy, the expectation. What do you get? The expectation and the transparency, with us. comes with the education. It comes with sitting down, having a 101. It comes with the personal communication that we build with you, and knowing and understanding that you're dealing with someone that's legitimate because they're in a highly compliant, licensed industry, right? Knowing that you have the right to understand your own wealth building plan. We want you to ask us the questions.
Absolutely.
We want to get you the answers. We want to make sure that you're doing that. But before we go, and it is time for us to move on, we want to say we've enjoyed you guys, but we want you to know one thing, that when you connect with Toni and I, you're not just connecting with someone that you're going to see one time. You're going to connect with someone that you can pick up the phone and call anytime. See, I've had the same phone number for I don't know how many years. My entire family has that number. So does my clients. So they can't, I don't carry two phones. That's the one phone I have. So when you call me, you're going to contact me, right? And so that connection is there because we are interested in doing what's best for you. Why, you say? Because we believe in our community. We're committed to our community. We believe in following up with you. We believe in establishing a personal relation with you. Toni, you have been great. I'm so glad you were here with me.
Hey, I wanted to say something about your shirt.
Come on,
I see your
say
shirt.
something about it.
It says you won't be free until you're financially free. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, to your point, before we close, I love what you just said because it's all about the relationships, right?
About the
People don't
relationship.
care about how much I know. They just want to know that I care.
And
I truly care for my community. You know, I want to thank you for having me here today with you.
My
on Shop
girl.
Talk. Absolutely. I absolutely enjoyed myself. I just want people to get the knowledge. I want people to know that there's resources out there available for them to take advantage of. You know, hey, you can find me on all my social media platforms because I know that's coming up next. Where can they locate me?
Where can they locate you?
But look, follow me on social media. I've given so much, you know, good information. Sometimes I have to give you some whoopings too because y'all don't do what I tell y'all to do. You know, and I tell my kids all the time, you know, hey, when mama stop talking, that's when you know you got a problem. But as long as I'm talking to you and I'm here to help you, I want to help you change your life and your family's life and our community's life. I'm here to help us bridge that gap and change the narrative in our community. So again, thank you, Angela Faye, for having me.
You're more than welcome. We want to give a big shout out to Miss Norma Joe Thomas who put this whole shop talk thing together. We kind of had a little audience in the studio. I don't know if y'all heard some of that going on in the background back there, but we kind of had a little audience in here that was sitting in with us. But again, we love you guys. And if as Toni says, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're committed and you want something more, reach out to us. Toni Sanders, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can, all the social media, right?
Everywhere.
Remember,
Just
Shop Talk.
Talk.
All you got to do is drop some information, whatever you see me and Toni. We love working together. We're great business partners. And my girl Toni has always got your back, as I's always got your back, as we have all got your back. So we out for today. Peace.
Okay, I don't know about you, but my head is spinning right now, but my head is spinning with solutions. And that's what it's all about. We didn't just present a problem. Now you know. When you know better, you do better. So I suggest and I highly recommend that you get in touch with these ladies and comment below. Drop us your email. Send us a message. I'm on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're wherever you podcast. So get in contact with us and let's get something done about financial literacy in our community and generational wealth in the Black community. And as always, take this conversation to your favorite barbershop. Take it to your beauty shop. Take it to your inner circle.
Season
Just take
1
the
of Shop
conversation.
Talk Podcast.
Thank you
is
for
funded
joining
in
me.
part
I'm Norma
by a grant
Thomas,
from the
host
City
of
of
Shop
Houston
Talk, the
through
podcast.
the Houston Arts Alliance.